guys, so today we are going to show you how to do a really easy rustic background. This is going to kind of help you mimic some boards, and we're going to show you how to get some nice shading on the sides to get just a little bit more of a rustic look. It's really nice for any sort of background, but we have a lot of these you can kind of see for our Love Indiana, but we also have several floral paintings we're going to have rustic backgrounds for. So this is just going to give you a few little tips and tricks for that. Now, number one, when you are blending your background, don't overblend. And number two, you want to use long brush strokes. So you want to keep it streaky because we're going to kind of mimic that wood grain look. Okay, and you can see I just have some browns and some white on here. I'm just going to kind of dip my brush in those first three colors. Didn't perfectly mix those, but you just want to start by going all the way across. Now don't be afraid to use lots of paint. Get a nice big scoop and go all the way across, big streaks. You can kind of see all the way. You want to make sure you're getting that canvas covered. This is also really high for me, so I'm just going to have to use a little more paint up here. We're going to go all the way across, and I'm just going to do about half of this canvas. Now another thing you can do, you don't even have to grab all your colors at the same time. You can kind of see I'm going to go in with maybe just a little bit of white, a little bit of that darker brown, a little bit of our tan, just like so. But notice I'm going all the way across. You want to make sure you're hitting your left and right sides. Now if you need to go in and kind of touch up a bit of your canvas, that's fine, but then smooth out your texture by going all the way across again. The other nice thing about this big brush is you can turn it to the side and we can get some smaller, skinnier streaks so it can sort of mimic that wood grain just a little bit more. Okay, so you can kind of see, you can even start some of those at the edges. Don't be afraid to actually start off the canvas. You can kind of see like that. But these don't need to be even at all. The nice thing about wood grain is, you know, as long as you're going semi-horizontal, it's going to be fine. Remember, it's your background. It's not the important part of your painting. Your subject matter is definitely going to take the focus, so don't worry about this part being absolutely perfect. Now, the other thing that we've got in a lot of these paintings are these edges. We're going to have a little bit more of a rustic edge. Now, I'm going to show you that on the wet paint as well as this dry area of the canvas, so you can kind of see how the look is just a little bit different. So what I'm going to do, just for teaching purposes, I'm going to take a little bit of that black and brown, and notice I just got that on the straight edge of my brush. You want to take your brush and put it off the canvas, okay? So we're going to actually start off the edge, and we're just going to kind of flick inward. You can kind of see what that looks like. Now, you don't want to press hard. I'm going to show you on this side what sometimes people are tempted to do is you just kind of go in and you stop. You want to use really light pressure and think quicker movements. Notice as I go over those, I can soften those really easily. So if you do accidentally have one that's just a little chunky, go right over it, soften it out. But once again, you want to start off the edge of the canvas. Now, if you do this while it's wet, you can see you get a little bit of blending. Now, if you want less texture, remember you're going to blend more. You want to do more brush strokes. But for a rustic background, generally you want to try to avoid over blending because we want to keep some of that texture. Now, while you're doing your edges, you can also go back in with your darker color into the middle. So you can kind of see, we can start to really mimic that look of some boards. Now down here on the dry canvas, I'm just going to demonstrate one more time. This time I'm just going to take a little bit of black, but again, I'm coating both sides of my brush. It doesn't even need to be perfectly clean right now, but you're going to start off the canvas and then flick inward, okay? Light pressure, light pressure. But I like to think of it as kind of hooking your little brush on the edge and just sweeping inward. So you don't want to press hard. It really is just a little flick, okay? So just really don't start here and pull out. I see people do that a lot too. And you can see that's a very different look. But if that happens, again, you can go right back in and pull the other way and soften it. Okay, so it's really not the end of the world. You can always add more colors, okay? But once again, start outside and brush inward. And that's as easy as it can get, okay? So I hope you guys have some fun with that technique. Remember, we're doing to-go kits that you can get at our sister studio, potterybyyou.com. You want to look for the to-go-go art kits, but we give you everything you need, and we've got some videos up here for you so you can get a little extra help with a few techniques if you want it. Thanks for joining us.